some thornless blackberries in that area of the garden, right? And and I had doused the spot and everything, and we weren't gardening so much over here in those days. And it was in there, and I was putting all these preps, and I put in, at that time I didn't fully understand the reagents, and I was trying to get rid of, what was it? Rabbits or deer. I put some deer fur with some coyote urine on it, thinking that energy would broadcast. And I put a little bit in, and we've never seen another rabbit here. The rabbits are gone, and they're in Deer Harbor, but they're not anywhere on this farm. And the deer vanished for about 6 years. They were just like not here.
Did you put something to treat them in the Fieldbroadcaster or the cosmic pipe?
You use the deer fur with the coyote urine.
A drop of coyote urine on it.
Well, it wouldn't take but a drop.
And
it didn't make things taste like coyote urine?
Didn't notice anything. But, there was one night, and it must have been January or February. It was like a heavy, low fog, and it was cold, near freezing. And I went out, and there was a full moon above the fog, so there was some light coming through, but it was pretty thick, low fog. And I walked by this thing, and I'd been over at my brother's house, and I walked out, and there was a cellular structure in the fog. It had organized the fog. And it was for quite a big area, like a dozen feet or bigger around this thing. And it was like this big cellular structure of like cell dividing kind of shape.
Like hexagonal cell shape?
They weren't really hexagonal, but they were like if you shoved 8 or 12 bubbles together, that shape that they would form or they intersect. It was pretty cool. It was in the fog, and it was like middle of the night. Nobody was around. Nobody came.
The fog organized.
It organized the fog.
Fog had cells in it.
Yeah, it organized, and I was so blown away.
It was really working.
Yeah,
and what reagents it had in it at the time.
It worked. What did I put in it? I made. We have a lot of non-native slugs and snails here, and the native ones are fine. Like they're fine. They don't bother the crops at all. And the non-native, these European ones were a problem with the moistness, and everybody here has a problem with those. And I had made a biodynamic pepper of the non-native mollusks and put it in, and they just went away.
Yeah.
And the native ones continued to breed as per normal, maybe even more.
Yeah, because they weren't
but they don't hurt the
species
garden.
affected.
Yeah, it was very specific.
Oh yeah, it can be very specific.
So did you burn the whole animal or just the shell? Or?
Yes, there were some big, we have slugs like this, right? So we had some, we have big slugs. So there was three species of slug and a snail.
Wow.
And I just did them like I had read, on a oak flame and reduced them to ash and reduced it. And
you had
it
essentially
worked,
Helix tosta.
Yeah, Helix tosta.
And
it worked great.
It would have sent them packing.
It did. And then the native ones were fine. And one species had never come back.
Yeah.
There's one species that has never come back, and it's been 20 years or more than 20 years, 25 years.
Enough residual.
It's so funny because he won't allow me to talk to people about using it for pest control or pest deterrent.
Wait. Hold on. Okay. Don't tell any lies.
Well, because you know what people do.
I discourage her from
making claims.
Yeah, you don't want to do that because I see it. Like if I ever talk to people about, you see the Westerners that just latch onto that ability. We can get rid of stuff. That ridiculous.
We had a guy in South Africa decided it's psionic
first question,
pest control.
Somebody wants to get rid of something. Well, what would you like to see take its place? Yeah. That's what you have to think about.
It's kind of the attitude of war on nature instead of working with nature.
The war on nature thing is such a bad habit that people have. And you look back in, like, our most ancient literature, something like the Book of Genesis. And when Cain had a problem with his brother, he killed him. And that same outlook on solves my problem is killing things. And it's a sickness that human beings seem to indulge in.